Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in to mattsteinway.com. Have you ever seen price guides in the paper? So when something says like, I don't know if I've got a piece of paper here somewhere. Here you go. Just so I can explain it properly. It's a little bit dark. It's nighttime outside and it's a bit dark in this, so sorry about that. So over 640,000, something like that. So offers over 640,000, similar to that. Do you ever think to yourself, either what does that mean? What is it? Why does that mean I just pay 641 and get it for that, or does that mean they want 700? What the heck does 640 mean? Now, some people like price guides, some people don't. A lot of buyers are unsure about them. I just want to explain them quickly in as short as possible time I can, so you're not watching a boring video about price guides. Price guides are usually used when a property is a little bit hard to price. Maybe the demand might be quite good for it, or it might have a bit of a variance, say a 10% variance, which is getting up there, usually a 5% variance. So let's say over 640, you'd probably say anywhere between 640 and 680 would be the range. Maybe 680 is getting a bit up there, but somewhere in that range the property's worth. And the reason that they're used most of the time is to get the marketplace through and invite all buyers in the market with $640,000 and more to view the home. Now, this is one of the things that potentially, or one of the reasons why owners use them or agents use them. You might find two buyers and they might really want the property. And if that happens, there's no cap on the outcome. So you might get a little bit stronger price potentially. And just in those first couple of weeks, you want to leave it a little bit open, because if you put $669,000 on a house as a set price, you've got nowhere else to go but down. And if you do find those two right buyers, you might get 675 or you might get 680 or whatever it may be, if that competitive environment is achieved. So that's one of the reasons I would say they're used mostly. The other reason is the agent doesn't know exactly what it's worth, so they're just going to leave it a little bit open to get a sense of what the market thinks. And from a buyer's perspective, I know they are a little bit like, why don't they just put a set price on it? But for those two reasons, I would say they're used. Now, it is an alternative to auction. Just a bit of light behind us to keep it a bit brighter. So it is an alternative to auction. So they might be used by owners that don't want to go to auction, but don't want to put a set price on the house. So the guide is used in the first little bit. The guides only work for the first few weeks to generate interest around the home. Once the interest goes, you've probably seen it, if it's on for over 640 and 2 months later it ends up selling for 600, the guide was just too high in the beginning and it either wasn't adjusted early enough to keep the interest going on a property, or it wasn't adjusted early enough to keep the interest going, and in turn it sells for less because the offers over, once the property loses market interest around it, the offers over becomes the actual listed price. So I would say that, I thought someone was just walking in the room. So I would say price guides are something that can be used, but need to be used carefully. They need to be, the reason that they're used is so an owner can get a feel for the market, potentially generate competition around it, or potentially give themselves an opportunity for a stronger buyer to maybe pay a little bit more than the rest of the market, maybe, or just achieve the right price and be satisfied that they've had everybody in the market through their house with more than $640,000 in the first 2 or 3 weeks. That's all. On this, if there's any owners watching this and they're thinking about using a price guide, always remember, it only works for the first few weeks. After that, the energy dies off. Your price guide's wrong probably because it's too high, but I think I'll do another video for owners on that. Buyers, don't be scared of price guides. If agents are using them out there, just think to yourself, and say if it's offers over 640, then they probably want somewhere between there and 680, I would say, as the logical base of price, could even be a bit less than that, but as a logical, credible base of price that most agents would set a guide somewhere just under where the property's worth to attract more interest and get a sense of either can the price be built or get quite a bit of traffic through a house and make an assessment from there. That's how I would say price guides are met. Now, created. So now, this is what some agents do, and it's not the go, all right? Some agents say a property's worth, see on this, you would think logically a property's worth about 660. So use a guide of over 640, just a little bit under to make it look a little bit more attractive and get the marketplace. Sure. What some agents do, which is not the go, and I don't even think it's allowed, well, no, it's not allowed really, is to use a deceptive price guide. And what I mean by that is they use one that's way too low. You know, an owner might want 660 and they use a guide of over 600 or something like that, where, you know, the owners would never sell it for 620 or anything like that. They started off on wanting more than that, and the guide is just way down here to get more people through. That's not the go. That's not the way I think, or that's not how price guides are used or used correctly or used credibly. Not at all. So if it is that, if you see that out there and, you know, an owner, an agent says they want this much, the guide's down here, bit murky, no go. But most agents set them right, I reckon. All right. And just on that question, you know, can you offer 641? No, like you can if you want, but that's probably not the concept, especially if the property's just been on the market, you know, for a couple of weeks or, you know, 1, 2, 3. Within 4 weeks, no, it doesn't mean that at all. If it's been on the market for a while, yeah, maybe, but see how you go. All right, question of the day. Do you like price guides? Do you not? Have you had any good experiences, not so good experiences with price guides, talking to agents? Love to hear your feedback. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, helping make this real estate world a much better place. See you on the next video.